Welcome, welcome, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody in between. Jack's got a sports show, and you are tuning in to that sports show. How was yesterday? Did you watch your teams win? Did you not have a team win, but were you still watching sports? Did you not watch sports at all, and you just kind of chilled out? Whatever you did, I hope it went well for you. Little house cleaning. We got World Series Game 4 to get into. We got some Raiders news to get into. College football playoff rankings came out last night. Not really a lot of basketball. And then I want to talk about refereeing in football. Not a big show today, but, prediction show tomorrow, Friday, whatever. You'll get to it. We get to it. Let's get into it. um, and we'll do house cleaning after. World Series Game 4. To be honest, I turned it off after the third inning. Why? Well, if you watched it, you know why. 10 to nothing in the third inning, and the Diamondbacks were just completely doing absolutely nothing. Errors, horrible bats. Center field, Thomas. Thomas at center field for the Diamondbacks made some amazing plays in Game 3. Made some amazing, amazing plays in Game 3 and Game 2, I believe, and he was just bad. He was just bad in the times I was watching. It was awful. I don't. I believe the final score is something like 11-1. I'll double check it right now, but it was so bad, and I turned it off as soon as the Rangers went up 10-0. I turned it off. Oh, it looks like the Diamondbacks had a little run, 11-7, but still, you're not coming back from down 10-0. It was awful. It was bad. I don't understand how the Diamondbacks can put up such a great game two performance and then come out and do absolutely nothing in the next two games. Um, you could say like game two was because Merrill Kelly had such a great game, which I said I don't know if the Diamondbacks would be able to keep up that level of play, but I thought that game showed that they can at least keep up with the Rangers. They weren't going to beat them 9-1, but they were at least going to keep up with them to show that they are as good as the Rangers. Apparently not. And by the way, I had some people in my TikTok comments over the video I made of World Series Game 4, and I said that. I said I don't understand how like game 2 you can win in such dominating fashion and not even show for games 3 and 4. And people are like, "Oh, do you not watch sports? Do you not?" Oh, it's because like you're not an athlete. Do you not understand competition? Do you not understand how these things work? You're a fucking idiot. Jesus Christ, dude. I hate morons. I hate morons. I said this in another TikTok that got taken down. I've said multiple times that morons really drain my energy and not make me want to create sports content anymore. And I'm not talking about morons I disagree with, right? If you think, I don't know, Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback than Tom Brady, I think you are wrong. I think you're objectively wrong, but that's your opinion, right? The morons I'm talking about are people like I responded to who went on a sports video just to complain about how sports are scripted. You don't watch sports. Why are you interacting with a sports video? Morons that can't understand that when I'm saying I don't understand how they can do this, it's me talking to like my child. Like, I don't understand why you would do that. Why would you do that? Right? Obviously, I think they're a moron. I think they're underperforming. I think whatever. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand. And I had multiple people commenting that. You don't understand competition. You don't understand sports because you're not an athlete. You're a moron. You are a moron. I don't understand how you got to this point in life because you're such a moron. And those are the people. I get it all the time. Such smooth brained, sitting there just all fucking day. My God, dude. It it gets me so angry. It gets me so angry that you're such a fucking idiot. Oh man. I'll get off that though before I get any more angry. Game 5 is tonight. if the past two games show us, I believe it's in Arizona. Again, let me double check that because if it is absolutely in Arizona, the Diamondbacks don't stand a chance, apparently. Um, it is in Arizona. So it looks like the Rangers are going to win in 5 games unless Arizona can just pull something together. But the Rangers have not lost on the road, and they're completely dominating the Diamondbacks on the road. So Rangers in 5, I guess, which I shouldn't be disappointed in. At the beginning of all this, I said I'm rocking with the Rangers because I have connections through my dad with the Rangers. But I just want to see a good World Series. I just want to see a good World Series. And the first 2 games were awesome. And the last 2 games just sucked. Just sucked. Let's move on. Let's move on to the NFL. We'll save that for later since we're talking about referees later. Let's move to basketball. Just because I have nothing to say, I just was not interested in what was going on last night. Plus, I missed most of the Knicks Cavs game. The Spurs and Suns game wasn't that interesting, especially when the Spurs went down, I believe, like 20-9. I could have watched the Clippers game, but I was just saving that until James Harden debuts on Monday. So, you know, and just basketball wasn't that interesting to me. And I did other things last night. And plus, I was already aggravated from game 4 of the World Series. So, let's talk about the college football playoff ranking. I was actually going to um, record the show after the college football ranking came out last night, but it came out at like 7 o'clock, and I was already at my lady's work, so I can't really record the podcast then. Plus, I just completely forgot that they were unveiling the college football playoff ranking. So the big story is Ohio State at number 1, and the top 10 goes Ohio State, Georgia, Michigan, Florida State, Washington, Oregon, Texas, Bama, Oklahoma, and Ole Miss. Now, I just want to be completely honest with you. I'm trying to find the I'm talking about this because I have to talk about this. Right? The college football playoff ranking came out. I talk about college football all the time. I talk about football all the time. So obviously I have to talk about it. But that's why I'm talking about it, because I have to talk about it. Why? Because college football is busted. College football is a fun product to watch. I can't deny it. The culture around college football, when it comes to the alumni, the fans, there's nothing like it. You won't get anything close to a Saturday night in Penn State, in Michigan, in Ohio State. You'll never get anything close to that in the NFL. However, the NCAA is so bad. It is objectively awful, run by a bunch of scumbags who just see the bottom line and not the human being. And yes, the NFL has a lot of that, but the NCAA is objectively worse. Notably, not paying the athletes that were making them billions and billions of dollars. Not paying them. Oh, Jack, they got a scholarship. The scholarship does not touch the amount of money the NCAA was making off these kids. Yeah, they got a scholarship, right? And I know this point has been nailed into the ground, but I got to make it again. Yeah, they had a scholarship, and I was on that train. Oh, they're getting a free education. But that free education at like the top schools is 100 grand, right? A little over 100 grand. And the NCAA was making billions, billions of dollars off of these kids and refusing to pay them. And not even letting them sign fucking autographs, dude. It's such a scumbag organization. They don't know what they're doing, and it tells in the fucking playoffs. And I guess we're turning this into an NCAA rant. Why is there 2 polls? You have the regular season poll, and then you have the playoff poll. And on the NCAA's website, their own website, It says that the only poll that really matters is the college football playoff poll. So why do you even have a regular season poll if it doesn't matter? Oh, so we can keep track of like what teams beat what when they're ranked. They're going to rank the teams at the end of the year. So we're going to see the wins. It and we can see how good teams are. Right? If regular season rankings just went away and Penn State played Ohio State this year, are we going to be like, "Oh, I don't even know how good Penn State is. I don't even know how good Ohio State is." Like, no. We're obviously going to say Penn State is one of the best teams in college football. So is Ohio State. Whoever wins this is going to have a good case for the playoffs. And even then, why is the national championship? Why is playing for the national championship a fucking debate? Why is it a debate? It should not be, oh, well, this team beat this team, so, like, they really deserve to get it. Or, this team has a better yada yada. What are you talking about? Shouldn't it be win your games, win your conference championship, you get a chance at the national championship? It should not be, oh, well, would they really put a Pac 12 champion ahead of an ACC? Why does that fucking matter? Why is that the debate? It's so annoying. And the people that are okay with it are just brainwashed by the NCAA. Or just elitist dumb fucks. Elitist dumb fucks. Oh, this school, like, I don't want to see them in the playoffs because, like, I don't even think about them in terms of best teams. They went undefeated and won their conference title. Why should they not play for the national championship? Oh, because, like, obviously they're not as good as A, B, C, and D. Why? How do you know that? They haven't played? How do you know that? Oh, well, I just think. Let them fucking play the fucking game. It's football. Anything can happen. Jesus Christ, this gets me so aggravated. It should not be 4 teams and it's debatable on which team should make the playoffs. How did college football, how did the NCAA trick you into thinking that that's okay? How did the NCAA trick you into thinking that's proper? Oh, well, the regular season matters. No, it doesn't. The big schools schedule awful schools because they know you're going to say, oh, well, they play in the SEC. They play in the Big Ten. Oh, well, they're Michigan. Oh, well, they're Georgia, so you have to put them in. The regular season doesn't fucking matter. Because you have small schools like James Madison who are destroying everybody, can't even get bowl eligible. Can't even get bowl eligible because of you elitist dumb fucks. Oh, well, they're moving from the SES to the FBS. Who cares? They did it last season, and they're showing that they can play and compete at the FBS. Why are they not in a bowl game? I want to like college football so bad, but the NCAA makes it so hard. So hard. Objectively. Unless you've been keeping up with college football all your life, I'm going to stop shouting. I'm going to stop shouting. And plus, I doubt the microphone is doing well with all this shouting. It's just, man, dude, I want to like college football, but until someone other than the NCAA is running it, it's just hard. And until someone other than the NCAA is running college football, you can't make the argument that it's better than the NFL. Why? The the playoffs and competing for the national championship being a debate and not a solid thing. The stubbornness, right? The stubbornness of the NCAA to admit when they're wrong. At least the NFL comes out and, like, with the referees, they come out and say, "Oh yeah, no, we were wrong in that instance. The referees were wrong." Like the NFL will admit when they're wrong. Sometimes they're stubborn, but they will admit when they're wrong. The NCAA makes a stupid decision that everybody criticizes them for, that they obviously should turn back, and just stands 10 toes down because they're losing power. They are losing power, and they cannot stand it. Even though they're making more money than they have ever made. And that is just a state. I haven't seen the numbers. That's just an assumption because college football is massive. Is more is bigger than it's ever been. They are making so much money, yet they are these stubborn, elitist, dumb fucks who run college football. And until that changes, you can't tell me that college football is better than the NFL. In terms of the college football playoff rankings, my opinion, it's dumb. It's stupid. Should Ohio State be at number one? Whatever. Should Georgia be at number two? Whatever. Like, I've really been keeping up with college football. I have a lot of fun watching the games. And then it gets into the behind the scenes of ranking teams and talking about teams where it's like, it's a headache. It's a headache. And I'm going to keep that. College football is an elitist sport. There's no reason Cincinnati shouldn't have been objectively in the college football playoffs a couple of years ago. And it took so many teams losing multiple games to put Cincinnati in the playoffs. And that should not be the case. But it's, oh, we can't make enough money off of them. Oh, obviously they couldn't compete with a Power 5 school, even though it took Alabama. Like, they were with Alabama until the second half of that game. It sucks, dude. And now I'm depressed. So we're going to move on. We'll talk about the NFL news that came out yesterday before we talk about referees. Josh McDaniels, David Ziegler, and Mike Lombardi have all been fired by the Las Vegas Raiders, and it came out at midnight last night, which I love to think, and I made a TikTok about it today. I love to think that Mark Davis just had one too many, realized how much the Raiders suck, and just decided to start cleaning house. Also saw that Jimmy Garoppolo is benched. Aiden O'Connell is going to be the starter. Fire sale. Fire sale in Las Vegas. It's a dumpster fire because the offense sucks. Sometimes the Raiders have played like the Raiders are going to be decent this year, and then you have nights like Monday night where the offense is just putrid and you want to vomit when you watch it. I think it was the right move. I don't think, I don't understand why you hire Josh McDaniels. I don't understand the firing of David Ziegler. Maybe Raiders fans can correct me on that. I didn't think he did that bad of a job because the Raiders have a lot of talent. Like, the Raiders aren't a badly built team. They're just run poorly. And firing Mike Lombardi makes sense. But let's move on. And I added this to put a little meat in the show because there wasn't a lot of news that I had that I could talk about, and that is refereeing in football. It's a big topic. It's been a big topic for a while now. And I want to start off with saying this. We're going to talk about how I think, or what I would think would fix refereeing in the NFL, or at the very least start. But I want to say this. I was a referee. And I wasn't a referee for the NFL, obviously. I wasn't a referee for college football. I refereed a lot of youth football games. And that gives you the perspective of everything is happening really fast. You can't see everything. And a lot of it is judgment calls. And whether you call it one way or the other, you're going to be screamed at by the coach, by the fans. You're going to be screamed at. And I can only imagine what it's like in college football and NFL when you have to make those judgment calls and you don't see everything. And it could be the wrong call, it could be the right call. It's still going to aggravate someone, and you go on social media or you watch sports shows and they're just shit talking you. I can only imagine what that is like. We cannot take away the fact that refereeing is a very stressful job. It is a very hard job. And if you're like, oh, you can't, like, what are you talking about? Like, you don't go referee some youth games. It's pretty easy. Get in touch, go to a youth football game, find the referee with a white hat because he's the lead head referee. Tell him, hey, I want to be a referee for some youth games. What do I do? He'll get you in contact with someone, or that at the very least, that's how I learned. Of course, I knew someone who was a referee, who was going to be a referee, and he just brought me along. But just do that. Do that for a season. Not even a season. Do it for a couple games, and you will understand that refereeing is a very hard job. It's very judgmental based. When you can't see everything. I know I repeated this. I'm going to say it one more time before I get into this because I don't want to come off as like me shitting on referees. I know how hard that job is. It's very judgmental based. You're going to get screamed at either way. You're going to miss calls. You're going to get calls wrong. It's just happened because you're a human. Until we have robots refereeing games, it's never going to be perfect. And that's the unfortunate thing. But how do we fix them? Well, I want to start off with make referees full time. During the season, they're technically full time, but they're, I think, legally regarded as part time employees. They make a good amount of money. On average, they make $205,000 a year. And I think starting out, you make $75,000 a year. They make good money, but they also have jobs on the side during the week. Some are lawyers, some are teachers, some are like, there's a lot of different jobs the referees are. And I don't think that should be the case. I think you should have full time referees and they have an off season just like the players do. And in during the week, they should focus on nothing but being an NFL referee to get the calls right. Now, I learned, looking it out, they do get a lot of they have a meeting right after the game to talk about some missed calls, to talk about some controversial calls, what they could have done better. Like, it's not like referees go out there, call the game, and go home. They watch game film to get like a read on everything to get better. Like they do stuff to get better. They do stuff by and it said by former referees will come and talk to them and about calls they made. They give them a report card. So it's not like there's absolutely nothing being done to try to make referees better. But that being said, they still go to a weekly job. They still go to a weekly job that they put a lot of effort, a lot of thought into, and that's not okay. That's like if an NFL player had a job during the week, he wouldn't be that good on Sunday because he couldn't devote all his time to being the best possible player he could be. An NFL referee should have all the time in the world to devote into being the best possible referee he can be. Why? The NFL referees have a. Do I have to explain why? NFL referees have a big impact on the game, and you should want them to be absolutely perfect. They're not going to be. Like I said, it's a very hard job. You have to make judgmental calls immediately, especially now with people saying, oh, that flag was late. Yeah, because he was trying to process what he just saw. I get it. It's never going to be perfect. But having the ability to make these guys full-time guys, in which pay them a full-time salary, which you do, but just full-time guys, to where in the week they can just focus on being a better referee. And maybe in the off-season, send them to the XFL now, where they can get even more practice. That's one thing. That's one thing you can do. Make them full-time. Don't have NFL referees have outside jobs. Pay them enough to where they don't have to do that. And in the off season, have I don't know, a camp they go to or a program they go to with the teams or something like that. Something to where these guys can continue to get practice. Something to where these guys, all they do for their career is study the game and study how to get better. That scared the shit out of me. That's what you got to do. Now, what also you have to do, and admittedly, this is going to be a much harder task, cut out the different crews, different views thing. Now, I don't know if I made, I said that to someone I was talking about a controversial call with, and he brought up, oh, the referees are inconsistent. I saw the same call this way than that way. Yeah, it's because that was a different crew. And if you listen to some former NFL players, they get cards of this crew gets lets this go, this crew cares about this more, they throw this flag more. That shouldn't be the case. There should not be different crews caring more about different things. That just should not happen. We need consistency across the entire league. How do you do that? You get the white hats, the head referees, you talk all of them in a room, say, hey, this is what we want out of y'all. And if you're not going to do that, you're going to dip. That's it. You're not going to keep your job if we keep with, oh, this team cares about holding more. This team cares about pass interference. This team doesn't see this as um, unnecessary roughness, but this crew does. We cannot have that. It's annoying. It's bad for the game. Because now you have games that will end a certain way to where if it was a different referee crew, one team would win over the other. That should not happen. So cut out different crews, different views. Just fix the consistency. Again, it's never going to be perfect. Refereeing in the NFL, as long as it is done by a human, is never going to be perfect. Because humans don't have perfect judgment, especially when an entire home crowd is shouting at you and you have to make it on the fly. They don't have perfect judgment. They're going to make mistakes. But the NFL sitting back and doing absolutely nothing outside of maybe one or two things that might help fix refereeing is just not okay. So that's the show. I feel like those are two solid ideas that would point us in the right direction of fixing NFL refereeing. Jackie's got a sports show. You just tuned into that sports show. Email me, oldjackieboy1021 at gmail.com. Tweet at me at jjester615. The show's Twitter at Jackie Show with two S's. Follow me on TikTok, Jackie Boy Sports, for daily sports takes and skits and whatever I feel like posting. I will see y'all tomorrow with the prediction show. Y'all take care. Love you.